evening, everybody and respected faculty. Today I'll be presenting a case of ulcer-proliferative growth over the heel region. My patient is a 67-year male patient, daily laborer by occupation, presented to us with the chief complaints of ulcer-proliferative growth on the right heel since 2 years. This is the clinical image provided to me. He is apparently normal 2 years ago when he noticed this growth in the right heel region, which is he noticed as an insidious swelling and which gradually increased in size and attained the present site and started ulcerating along with. And I would like to inquire about whether there is any association with the association of pain. If so, what is the nature and radiation of the pain? And if there is any discharge from the growth. Yeah, associated episodes of bleeding also I would like to inquire. And also I like to ask the patient what is the functional status of the patient after, and whether there is any change in the gait pattern or whether there is any difficulty in wearing footwear or whether there is any difficulty while walking as the ulcerative growth is progressing. Personal and past history, he didn't receive any medical attention till now. There are no similar complaints in the past. He's a known diabetic on treatment, and as to the other medical comorbidities and surgeries, I would like to inquire for. And regarding substance abuse, I would like to inquire particularly on smoking and whether there is an addiction to chewing of any tobacco or tobacco-related products. Sleep and appetite, bowel habits also I would like to ask. And if he is on any drugs, I would like to inquire on. General condition on examination, he is conscious, coherent, moderately built and moderately nourished, and no signs of pallor, no icterus, no cyanosis, no clubbing, no edema. Vital data is unremarkable. Patient is examined in supine position, and apart during the general condition, I would like to look for the gait of the patient and whether the patient is using any crutches or walkers, any orthotics or any wheelchairs, if any. Coming to the local examination of the patient, patient is examined in, pardon ma'am, history-wise it is done.
Nishan,
Yes, ma'am.
is there any earlier history of scars or trauma? Is there any before the ulcer started?
That history was not provided to me, ma'am. That I would like to ask, ma'am.
Yeah, previous history we have to look for, no, the reason for
Previous history of
ulcerated
any
growth.
non-healing ulcers. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, okay. You have to ask for the ulcers or long-standing ulcers or anesthetic limb, anesthetic foot, like that you have to
Anesthetic,
ask
yes,
for.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Associated any sensory abnormalities also I would like
Yeah,
to
yes,
ask
yes,
in
that's
this
what.
patient.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Coming to the examination of the patient, patient is examined supine position with the limb, hip in extended, knee in extended, and ankle in neutral position. On examination of the foot region, there is a single which is centered on the heel region, more on the medial aspect of the heel, which is 6 into 7 centimeters in size, which is extending. Proximal extent, it is extending, excluding the 1 centimeter from the heel weight bearing area of the heel, and distally it is extending 12 centimeters from the ball of the great toe, and lateral extent it is 3 centimeters from the lateral border of the foot, and it is almost medially it is extending onto the medial border of the foot. Edges of the proliferative growth are raised and everted, and margins are well defined. Surface of the growth is irregular with mixed areas of pale granulation, and there is a central necrosis which is covered with slough. And there is another callosity uh, noted in the sole region, which is 2 into 2 centimeters in size, lateral to the ball of the great toe, which is 2 centimeters in size. Uh, Palpation, my inspectory findings regarding size, shape, number, extent, I will confirm on palpation. And this growth is non-tender and there is no local rise of temperature. Edges are raised and everted, and margins are well defined with surrounding induration. There is distally there is induration is extending zero point 0.5 centimeters away from the margins of the ulcer, and there is also this growth is bleeding on touch, and base is indurated and it is not fixed to the underlying calcaneum. Peripheral pulses I would like to examine here. Anterior tibial artery, posterior tibial artery, dorsalis pedis are palpable and comparable to the opposite limb, and there are no palpable regional lymph nodes. And I would like to also perform a detailed sensory and motor examination of the foot and lower limb region. I would like to assess the ankle range of movements, both active and passive, and presence of any deformity, probably equinus deformity, if any. And I would like to look for any arches of the foot, whether they are normal or deformed, and other limb also to look at the functional status and the status of the other limb and foot. Also, I would like to examine. For possible donor sites, considering this excision of the lesion, I would examine the both legs and the thighs. They are normal. So my diagnosis, considering features, this is a 67-year-old. To summarize, he is a 67-year-old male patient with uh, also proliferative growth in the right heel region since 2 years duration. Is a diabetic and diabetic. On examination, there is a irregular shaped swelling with swelling. These edges are raised and everted with surrounding induration. My diagnosis in this patient is squamous cell carcinoma of the right heel. Clinical staging TNM T3. Clinically nodal status clinically 0 and metastatic not exists. To confirm the diagnosis, I was provided with the biopsy report. I would like to do a 4-quadrant wedge biopsy from all the sides of the ulcerative lesion. This biopsy report was already given to me as it came out as well differentiated squamous cell carcinoma. Apart from that, to look for the involvement of the underlying calcaneum, I would like to ask for a radiograph of the foot, both AP and lateral views. These radiographs are provided to me, ma'am. In this radiograph, both AP and lateral views, there is arches of the foot appear to be normal. The calcaneum, there is no perios, and there are no any evidence of any osteolytic lesions in the heel region, suggesting that the bone is not directly involved with the overlying growth. And I would like to also ask for the vascular study of the lower limb, Doppler of the both same limb, and I would like to order for, and routine investigations for surgical purposes. I would like to order, ma'am.
Okay. What
Treatment.
yes, is it, okay, you told that it's mobile and it's not fixed to the underlying structures.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Yeah. The calcaneum is also on X-ray. It appears to be free from free from the sinuses or something involvement of the bone. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's your plan?
Plan, ma'am. This biopsy report it has come as squamous cell carcinoma, and there are no regional lymph node involvement. So I would like to do a wide local excision of the lesion with 2 centimeters all around. Marginal take from the level of induration and creation of the defect. Simultaneously,
you told that, excuse me. Yes, you
yes,
told that it's an indurated growth.
Yes,
all
madam.
around the base of the ulcer is indurated.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to exercise beyond the induration or what is
Beyond
the
induration, I will take 2 centimeters margin.
2 centimeters? Yes, that's what. Yes.
Beyond induration, I will take 2 centimeters margin, not from the margin of the ulcer. Beyond the induration, I will take 2 centimeter margin.
And then its margins are also, that the indurated area is also looking like hyperpigmented and it's not like a normal skin pattern is not looking like normal. No?
Yes, madam.
Shall we exclude it from the induration, scarred induration or due to tumor infiltration? How do you?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you?
Edge biopsy, I will look for, ma'am. I will take the surrounding normal tissue also, apart from the, not only from the margin, I would like to take a normal wedge of tissue from the normal surrounding region also. I would like to involve in the biopsy segment.
Yeah.
So that would give us an idea whether it is that induration is because of either inflammation or really because of the because of infiltration with the tumorous growth.
Is it tendo Achilles intact and it is not extending towards that?
Yes, ma'am. It is not. It is confined to the heel region only, madam. Only to the weight bearing region, ma'am. Posterior aspect of the hind foot region and TA region appears to be uninvolved, madam. In this thing. Post excision pictures were given. Even
Yes.
post-excision, that is also not involved in this, madam.
Yes. Okay. Then, okay. How do you proceed to reconstruct?
Yes, madam. After complete excision with negative margins, I would assess the defect three-dimensionally.
Yes.
Here there is bone is exposed, and whether if they have performed either any
Yes.
partial calcaneectomy or not, if it is involved, considering there will be a bone defect also, there will be a soft
Yeah.
tissue
Yes.
defect with exposed. Here is invariably involved. Bone exposure is invariably exposed. Uh,
Yes.
in reconstructing this heel defect, my goals of reconstruction is to provide a well vascularized soft tissue cover, which is without pain and infection to the patient, and probably which is also a sensate flap, if possible, a sensate cover, and a durable cover which would withstand the repetitive stress of weight bearing, and an optimum thickness flap that to facilitate wearing the easy wearing of normal footwear. This is my immediate goals of reconstruction, ma'am. Considering these features, uh, treatment options I would discuss with the patient after assessing the general condition and other status, also vascular status of the limb, and we do the
Okay.
simultaneous reconstruction along with combined with the excision only. My first choice is a free tissue transfer, ma'am.
Yeah.
First, in
It's a
also my
primary.
first option is
Yes.
is with a graceless muzzle flap, muzzle only flap with fit skin graft cover over it, ma'am.
Soft tissue cover. Yes.
Soft tissue, only soft tissue cover, madam.
Yes. Okay.
This another thing, after discussing,
This
my
is,
first option is
it
mm,
first option? Yes. Is it first option? It
first.
was first.
That is first option, madam.
Okay.
Actually, I will discuss this with patient,
Okay. If
madam.
the
Mm,
okay, go on. Proceed.
with the patient, first option is to do a free tissue transfer only, ma'am, considering the general condition and other features. And as he is an
65
67-year-old male, and considering he has to give a sensate and durable this grace, considering the options, I will give a graceless muzzle flap cover only, ma'am. That's my first option only, ma'am. Lifeboat,
You told
I'll
that,
give.
pardon, you told that he's a smoker and that,
That history is
in that
not given,
time.
ma'am. I will inquire on that thing, ma'am. That was
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. 67 years old. In that age group, we have to think about the first option is a free flap. Actually, that we have to think it off instead of going for local flaps.
Yes, madam.
Actually, first preference we have to go for local flaps
Yes, ma'am.
as per the age of the patient is the number one
Patient.
priority. Yeah, then the rest of the limb, if it is okay, rest of the leg and then calf muscles, surolateral area, if there is no any previous history of trauma, no previous history of operations or any surgeries following the limb, we have to prefer to go for local flaps.
Yes,
Okay,
madam.
then only in everywhere in all hospitals, it is not possible to go for free flaps,
Yes, madam.
especially yeah in district level. In such situations, the free flaps are not possible to go for a frequent frequent procedures.
Yes, madam.
So in such situations, we have to prefer to go for yeah reverse surrolatry. It's the first option as per my opinion at our setup.
Yes,
Okay.
madam. Based on
Yeah.
the level of expertise, availability of microvascular facility, and
Yeah.
lengthier surgery and all, considering these options, if then I would consider this, madam.
Yes.
Local.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Local
That's
flap, I consider reverse sural artery flap, madam. RSF.
mm, okay. RSA. Other flaps, if it is the small defect is a smaller one, is a
Yes,
limited
madam.
is a limited to is a matter of 5 to 5 centimeters. Is a smaller defect instead of induration. If it is in a stage one defect, the
Yes,
lesion is
madam.
a stage one. Though it's a malignancy, what are the other options do you want to go for to reconstruct defect?
Uh,
Mm.
Propeller, I will identify local perforator there and a freestyle perforator flap also. I'll plan one option.
Have you heard about this medial plantar flap?
Yes, madam. Medial plantar flap.
It's a
but
small.
that would
I am
yes,
telling not for this defect. It's a small
yes,
defect.
madam. Yes,
Yes.
madam. For small
For
defects, yes, madam. If a small flap which is preferably raised on the instep area can
yeah.
be used, ma'am, based on
Why?
the medial plantar
Why?
artery.
Why you have to prefer?
Because
Yes.
that is a non-weight bearing area.
Yeah.
Even if
That.
you resurface the secondary defect with a graft,
Yes.
ideally after transposing this medial plantar artery, there will be secondary defect in the donor side. Now that has to be resurfaced with a skin graft. So as
Okay.
this is a non-weight bearing area, so we can
Matching.
it's
Skin matching.
expensive
Another thing is skin matching.
region or
So,
matching. Yes, madam. We will replacing it with light tissue.
yeah, same like tissue. So it will also weight bear the weight bearing will be easy with the same
Yes,
tissue match. Okay.
yes, madam.
But there may not be a major donor defect.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Yeah, that is one thing. And it is next alternate for the same defect, small defect, other options instead of medial plantar flap.
Uh, yes, madam. Local muscle flaps only from the sole. Uh, Abductor hallucis brevis and flexor digitorum brevis muscle flap also I'll consider. It is a very small defect.
No, no. Any muscle flap which is at the heel part, which you have to cover with skin graft.
Yes,
So
madam.
the main weight bearing area that is around 60% of weight bearing will be
Bearing
with the.
area.
So skin graft has to apply over the muscle. So it's not suitable. Then this lateral plantar flap is also another alternate
Yes, madam.
for
Later
the
plan.
same lateral plantar. Okay.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
As this is a patient
Okay. Hello.
well and if flaps from the asthma.
Okay. Next, other options. This reverse artery flap or the medial plantar flap, and then next is a free flap. This is the
Yes,
order of. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Disha,
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Madam.
your voice. Okay, go ahead with your flap design and description.
Uh,
Why you want to
First
prefer
option.
Grizzlies, you tell.
Yes, madam.
What are the advantages of the Grizzlies over the
Uh,
fasciocutaneous?
yes, madam. Uh, Free flaps, they will
Not
offer
any
immediate
muscle flap. Why you would like to prefer that?
any muscle flap. As this is a weight bearing area, muscle flaps will provide good bulk to the weight bearing region, and they'll able to withstand weight bearing, and they'll be very well stuck to the underlying bone region. That is the reason of
What
considering
is
muscle
the term it is called? Wobbling effect will not be there, like the
wobbling effect.
fasciocutaneous.
With fasciocutaneous flaps, wobbling effect will be there, man,
Be there.
because this effect is not there with muscle flaps, man.
Yeah.
And
So it will
especially
start to bone well and gives good cushioning effect.
Good
And
cushioning.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
You would like to tell a few points about how, marking and all?
Yes, madam.
Fast.
For
Finish fast. We have,
Yes, madam.
yeah.
For graceless flap, with the patient in supine position with hip abducted and externally rotated with knee inflection, I would like to mark the adductor longus. This is on abduction and external rotating that taut adductor muscle, which we feel is the medial border of the adductor longus, 2 centimeters below that. I would like to plan my incision. There will be the underlying will be the graceless muscle. So I will take a curvilinear incision. First, I would try to safeguard the great saphenous vein. After that, I would like to adductor longus muscle and the graceless muscle, and I would like to incise. I will incise the deep fascia over the graceless muscle. And for in this patient, I will isolate it from the vascular pedicles. This vascular pedicle will be some 8 centimeters from the origin of the graceless muscle from the pubic tubercle. So for this patient, tenderness origin is not required. So proximal 2/3 of the muscle I will harvest along with its vascular pedicle as long as possible.
The vascular pedicle.
Vascular pedicle is medial circumflex femoral artery, madam.
Okay. Okay.
Along with its accompanying vena committances.
Okay. Go for the next. First preference, what madam is telling RSA flap. You tell few points about.
Yes,
The plan. Show me the
planning.
markings.
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Madam, is it visible, madam? Enlarging.
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
A reversible artery flap. The patient in prone position, I would mark the estimated defect after excision also, and I would divide the leg into 3 equal parts. Mark from the popliteal crease to the TA region. With the midline, vascular axis of the flap will be centered around the course of the sural nerve. That is from the behind the lateral just in between the TA region and the lateral malleolus region. From there, distally and proximally extending onto the midline in between the two heads of the gastrocnemius would be the vascular axis of the flap. I would plan the defect in plan flap. I would do planning in reverse. I will do after estimating the defect. The pivot point of the flap would be from lateral malleolar region. We will leave the proximal 5 centimeters because from there this peroneal artery perforators reverse flow will be happening from perforators supplying the flap within sural artery. So proximal 5 centimeters we will avoid that region and measure distance from the lateral malleolus to the defect. That I'll add to this defect, and I'll add this to the above 5. I will add this distance to the 5 centimeters from the lateral malleolar region. This would be the pivot point of my flap. From that, I will plan the flap, madam.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, from the marking, as you can see, your flap, your pivot point is almost at the mid cuff region, the flap that you have marked, and the flap is reaching almost to the popliteal fossa, the distal end of the flap.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this longer flap, the distal part of the flap would survive? How far you can go near to the knee joint?
From the popliteal crease.
Usually, normal RSF flap we can take in between only the proximal, middle and proximal thirds only we can take, sir. If you are taking in the proximal third region, chances of problem will be more, sir. Need to do a delay.
What is the distance you mark at the distal most part of the flap from the popliteal crease?
Yes, madam.
What is the distance between the popliteal crease to the flap distal margin? Do you want to take?
Yes, madam. This is around 8 centimeters. 8.
That is too, no, it's around 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters from the crease, the popliteal crease. Have to take, mark the flap, no? Okay.
Yes,
then in the second picture, that is the lower border, lower part of the, that is the pedicle part. It appears to be very high. That's what the sir telling.
Yeah, that appears very high. Yeah.
Very high. That is you are telling that's 5 centimeters above the lateral malleolus.
5 centimeters from ankle, and it practically appears as if it is 10 centimeters from the ankle.
Yes, yeah, it's more than 7-8 centimeters. That shows.
So if you lower that incisions to 5 centimeters near the ankle, you don't need that longer flap at all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will take it in the mid cuff region.
What is the location of the first perforator? That is the distal most perforator of that reverse location from the lateral malleoli. It is what is the distance? Above the
5
lateral
centimeter.
malleoli, right?
Above the
Where we
lateral malleus.
find the first perforator.
Yeah, that's what.
Pardon?
Roughly, there is a
Answer.
4 meter width. The 5 centimeter that was marked in the first picture is okay, but on the second picture that is different. No, that's why so many questions are coming for
In
you.
other words,
Yes.
doctor, in other words, that you are basing it on the third perforator, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That is
Yes,
only
sir.
5 centimeters from the lateral malleolus. That is the thing
Yes,
which
sir.
is going to connect your peroneal system with the other system.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
your marking should be pakka. Like if
Yes,
you
sir.
want to include the vessel, because it's a very tenuous flap. It is
Yes, sir.
corresponding to the it's a sensory neurosensory flap, isn't
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the corresponding flap in the upper limb? The posterior interosseous artery flap is the corresponding
Yes, sir.
flap in the
PIF.
upper limb.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is corresponding to the reverse sural artery flap. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just 5 centimeters, that is the last perforator on which you are going to base it. Okay. It is quite safe even in diabetics also, because you are basing it on the peroneal perforator, which is
Yes,
the
sir.
vessel which is not going to be affected even in atherosclerosis. Right? So that is
Yes,
why
sir.
madam is
Yes.
asking this to be your first plan for two things. One is it is sensory flap, sensate flap, which is more important for a 67. Yeah, neurocutaneous flaps, more important for a 67-year-old man. And second thing, you don't have to spend much time in raising this flap. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it is a locally available flap. So that is why if
Yes,
you
sir.
want to include a little bit of muscle also, you can include to plug the cavities in the calcaneum. You can include a little bit of gastrocnemius also if you want to
Yes,
plug
sir.
the cavities. Okay. If you want to avoid osteomyelitis of the calcaneum and all, if there is a cavity, then you can just plug it with the muscle. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead. Madam is there. Yeah. Please.
Yeah, it's very nice, sir. By adding this muscle, gastrocnemius muscle, you told. Yes, very nice, sir. Then Parag, sir,
Yeah.
it's over for me. If you wanted to add anything, you proceed, sir. Parag, sir.
No, I think we've covered most of the things.
So
He
over
did
to
not
Parag.
mention about see, when you mention about your flap choices, especially for the heel, two things you have to specifically mention. One is about the sensational part, which you have mentioned, but about the wobbling effect you failed to mention, because when you take a fasciocutaneous flap, especially in a obese patient, if you take a anterolateral thigh flap, definitely there is going to be a lot of wobbling and he may not be able to balance. So in which
Yes,
case, either a sural artery
Supra.
would be ideal, or a gracialis with muscle flap, especially on the heel, all the sole of the foot. Muscle flap with a graft might do better than doing a fasciocutaneous flap where wobbling is like to do more, especially in obese patients.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we
Do you want to
can.
proceed any localized, sir? Radiotherapy, sir. For completion sake, I am telling.
Yes.
Following flap, do you want to go for any local radiotherapy or not?
Madam, if the
Is it a well differentiated squamous cell carcinoma, you told? And in the frozen section shows all the margins are clear with the tumor. Do you want to leave it like this, or do you want to go for any radiotherapy, local radiotherapy, following flap reconstruction? Nisha?
How will you proceed?
Radiotherapy, I don't have this.
For the completion of this tumor and reconstruction, do you want to proceed to go for radiotherapy, or what you wanted to do?
How will you
Madam is
decide
asking.
whether how will you decide whether the radiotherapy is needed for this patient post-oply or not? Will you send the specimen for
The report
biopsy?
it comes if
Yeah, will you read it or not?
if the Yes, ma'am. If the base is involved with tumor, then
Or any
radiotherapy will be
margins
required.
also. Any margins, or if facilities available, you will send on table itself, isn't it?
Yes, madam.
Yeah,
Frozen
whether
check.
the margins are negative or not, base is negative or not, and you will follow with the histopathology report also. Anything is positive, definitely you have to go for it, isn't it?
Yes.
Nishant,
And if lymph nodes
Sir,
are there, yeah, what will be your mode of treatment?
first, if there are lymph nodes, ma'am, they can be because of either infection or because of the metastasis or in lymph node involvement, direct involvement also. I would perform a FNAC from the lymph nodes, ma'am. If they are involved, lymph
Before
nodes are
going,
also positive.
excuse me, before going to for FNAC, do you want to give any
Trial of
antibiotic course,
antibiotic. Yes, ma'am.
trial,
I'll give a
trial
trial of
therapy?
antibiotics for 3 weeks. Yes, ma'am. I'll give a
Yeah.
trial of antibiotics for 3 weeks, ma'am. If they resolve, I don't do anything, ma'am. If they are not resolving, then I will do an FNAC of the
FNAC or
FNAC for
lymph
the
node? Do you want to go for FNAC or lymph node dissection, lymph node biopsy? Which is better for confirmation of secondary signal?
Ma'am, lymph node biopsy is confirmatory, ma'am. But
Yeah. The lymph nodes are it's easy to go for biopsy, no? Instead of going for FNAC,
yes, ma'am.
FNAC
ma'am.
confirmation may be lesser than the lymph node biopsy. So,
Yes, ma'am.
so better after a trial therapy of antibiotic, if it is not going to resolve, then it's a thing to go for a lymph node biopsy, then confirm the diagnosis and the staging of the restaging of the
Restaging.
restaging, and then further planning of the chemotherapy and radiotherapy like that. So
Yes,
only
ma'am.
What will you
radiotherapy
do
is
for
the
if lymph nodes are positive? So ilioinguinal lymph nodal dissection and
Block.
radiotherapy, and
block dissection.
further proceeds. Okay. Shall we go for the third presentation? It's already 7.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Lakshmi, madam.
Yeah.